Hi friends and adventurers, it's Heather, and today we are going to be exploring all over Sedona. We started in the information center and got a overall map of all of the places we wanted to explore, and also I highly recommend using the Gypsy Guide app. They do have one for Sedona, and I did download it ahead of time. So we did the scenic drive first. Our game plan, since we had a day and a half, was to spend the first half a day getting a lay of the land and driving up and back the scenic portion, listening to Herbert, which is what I've named my Gypsy Guide, and then checked into our hotel for the night. And then we managed to accomplish a lot the next day, which you'll see. We did get out here to stretch our legs at, I believe it's Midgley Bridge, which was beautiful. I mean, the whole area is just breathtaking, but it was really fun to walk down the trail and get a look at the bridge from this angle. Our plan for the first evening was to head to the airport Vortex and the airport scenic overlook at the top for sunset. And I'm so glad that we chose that plan. It ended up being a really magical experience, as you'll see here in a moment. Really just the scenery though, I mean, as you can see, nothing really needs to be said about that. We stayed at the Bell Rock Inn, which was literally steps from Bell Rock. So that was our first stop the next morning. As you can see, it was a really nice room. Very happy with the accommodations, and you cannot beat that view.
Should I just take a picture?
We started out the morning hiking Bell Rock, since that was what we were closest to, and we got there when there was only one or two other cars in the parking lot, so that was a pleasant shift from what we had seen driving by the day before. This hike was beautiful. You can go as far as you want once you get to Bell Rock itself. Up, that is. You can climb it if you'd like. We actually did climb up part of the way to get some of the views and to get close to the vortex. My parents and I actually all really enjoyed this hike. It was the perfect way to start the day and set the tone for a really fun day of exploration and gorgeous scenes. And then it was time to head back to the car to hike a bit of Cathedral Rock. We weren't going to do the entire hike, but we did want to hike at least part of the way to Cathedral Rock to get a really good view of it. And not that these views here are anything to sneeze at, of course. I definitely recommend doing this. Just keep in mind the Bell Rock Loop is not what takes you up to Bell Rock, and go early before it's crowded. And then, as I said, it was on to Cathedral Rock, which is the other hike that if you want to avoid a parking nightmare, you want to do early, before 8 a.m. When we drove back by after 8, like 8:30, it was already shut down. The road was, and they were turning people away. It was too full. So keep that in mind. We only went part of the way up and then turned back because we wanted to get a few other things in for the day. Since we were too early to visit inside Chapel of the Holy Cross, still what we decided to do was head back out to West Sedona and hike into Boynton Canyon a bit. I'm not gonna lie, my main reason was I really wanted to see the javelinas. We did not, but we did see the Kachina woman, and we did have a beautiful scenic hike. I really recommend this hike. In fact, I wish we would have had more time to do the entire thing. As was the theme of the day, we did kind of cut this one short too. We went as far as to where we would have a really good look at the Kachina woman, and then we went ahead and turned around and backtracked towards the car. By this time, even though it was early, we did have trouble finding parking and had to wait quite a while to get a spot. Boynton Canyon is another one of the main vortexes in Sedona for those that are into finding the vortexes.
We'll step off.
have to be honest with you guys. I knew from my research that I would really enjoy this village. There's something that I was told was sort of similar in my kind of hometown area, Winter Park. Just this is supposed to be on a bigger scale and beautiful and gorgeous trees and just a real delight to walk through with lots of artsy stuff and restaurants and, you know, little cafes and places to get dessert and stuff like that. So, but I have to tell you, this was I think one of my favorite parts. The vibe was just incredible walking through here. Just the sounds of running water everywhere, music, gorgeous art from all different creative people. It was just so much fun walking around in here. I honestly could have spent an entire day just here at Tlaquepaque. And I didn't need to say that, but I am, because Tlaquepaque is now officially my favorite word. I can't say it without smiling. So when I get down, as my mom suggested, I now say Tlaquepaque and I have to smile. Once we were done exploring, we ended up going over to the Oak Creek Brewery here that you're seeing behind, or here in the back. But it wasn't quite open yet when we first were walking around, so we finished exploring everything first. And then once it opened, we went back for some delicious fries with, I don't know what was in the dipping sauce, but it was amazing. And then one of their local craft brews, for me anyways. But this was the secret garden here that I'm currently walking through. Just the whole place was really magical, honestly. It was just, and it was such a beautiful day too. It wasn't quite as windy as it had been, at least right here. It was nice and just breezy and beautiful. And as you can see, the artwork is just amazing. Hands down, this was my favorite spot of the whole village, the whole area. This view, this gallery here, the sculptures outside were amazing. They had this music playing, all of the different winds, spinner, chime features, and water features were going. It was just, I had not felt that peaceful and just at ease and just quiet and calm in such a long time. That's my new happy place in my mind now. And last but certainly not least, it was time to leave Sedona and head to Phoenix to wait for our return flight back to Florida. But we managed to squeeze in one last side trip to Montezumas Castle National Monument. And I am so glad that we stopped here. It was so worth the stop. I knew from others' pictures that it was an incredible structure to see, but in my mind it was much further away. I didn't realize it was so close to the path and that you could really see it in such detail just from standing there. So it really blew me away. I mean, just witnessing something that is so old yet so well preserved, and just knowing that up until fairly recently, people were actually allowed to climb up there and explore the caves and get a closer look. Just, it was just mind blowing to me. I really, really enjoyed this stop. I highly recommend. And since we had our national parks pass, we were able to get in without paying any additional. So, again, another great reason to get the America the Beautiful pass. It is a very short and very accessible trail. The entire trail is paved and it's a very short loop. Definitely under a mile. I want to say it was maybe a third of a mile even. But it was a very short trail. So anybody pretty much is able to do this one. And I believe they had wheelchairs available upon request. They also had a really great visitor center, as you can see, wonderful displays explaining everything and kind of breaking down the different ages and how it used to look and what the different rooms were. Just really fascinating. So definitely don't forget to stop in there. I, of course, had to get my sticker that I get at every national monument or national park that I stop at to commemorate it. So I was happy that they had a little gift shop here in the visitor center as well.